Hey, what's up guys? Today I'll show you a horror thriller film, Shudder, They Are Around Us. Spoiler ahead, watch out and take care. The movie begins with a photographer and his girlfriend having a drinking session at a wedding reception with their friends, the goofy, curly-haired, and the cool guy. After the session, the photographer and the girlfriend drive back home. While in the car, both of them are having a fun conversation when a woman crosses the street out of nowhere. Their car eventually hits the woman and kills her instantly. They look at the other side of the road and see the dead woman. Another car arrives. Without hesitation, the photographer tells the girlfriend to drive away immediately. The girlfriend hesitantly does so. They run away from that dead woman as if nothing happens. After some time, the photographer attends graduation as a hired photographer. During a photo shoot of the whole graduating class, the photographer sees a ghostly woman together with a group of people. The photographer thinks that he is hallucinating and ignores what he sees. Inside a dark room, the photographer confronts his girlfriend about their relationship because it has not been well after the car accident. The girlfriend confides that she feels guilty for leaving the woman and that she cannot live an everyday life knowing she kills someone, especially that she is the one driving at the time. The next day, at a printing shop, the photographer retrieves the photos taken from the graduation. After the shop representative gives him the stack of images, he scans the photos and eventually stops at the fourth photo, when he sees that the rest of the pictures have white shadows. The photographer asks the shop representative if their processor is broken. The representative then checks the photo and the negatives. The representative tells the photographer that the processor is not broken, since the negatives also have white shadows. Later in the evening, the girlfriend enters the photographer's apartment. She hears running water from the darkroom. The girlfriend proceeds to the darkroom and sees that the running water is coming from the sink. As she is approaching the sink, she sees a woman floating on the water. The girlfriend runs to the door of the darkroom, but it is locked. She keeps on banging the door as the woman slowly emerges from the water. The girlfriend turns around to see the woman already standing and reaching for her as it screams. The girlfriend wakes up and realizes that it is just a dream. That same night, the photographer tells his girlfriend about the white shadows in the photos. The photographer thinks that his camera is broken and he should get it fixed. The girlfriend also checks all the images. To her surprise, the girlfriend sees a ghostly woman in one of the photos. The girlfriend then speculates that the ghost is the woman they ran over. The photographer eventually dismisses her. Following this, the photographer and the girlfriend visit a funeral foundation. After offering incense for the dead, they see a huge board full of accident photographs. In one of the photographs, the girlfriend spots a car accident photo with the same white shadow. The photographer and the girlfriend go to the place where the car accident in the picture happened. They ask a traffic enforcer what happened. The traffic enforcer tells them that a car hit the billboard a few days ago. The photographer then asks if someone gets hurt, but the traffic enforcer tells them that no one gets hurt and that it is just a broken billboard. That same day, while in the car, the photographer calls a friend to check precincts and hospitals. After the call, the photographer confirms to the girlfriend that there are no accidents reported the night they hit the woman. The girlfriend could not believe it, since she saw clearly what had happened that night. The photographer implies that there could be someone who helped her, and she is probably fine already. The girlfriend tells the photographer that even if the woman is fine, she is sure that the woman they hit is related to the white shadows in the photos. The photographer then dismisses her and tells her that the white shadows are just harmful exposures. After the photographer and the girlfriend hit a woman with their car, we can see that they suddenly become haunted by its ghost. The photographer and the girlfriend continue to experience weird occurrences and spine-tingling situations. Afterward, the photographer investigates the photo where a ghostly woman appears. He tries to zoom in on the mysterious woman in the image. With this, he confirms that there is really a weird woman in the photo. He eventually comes to the printing shop and lets the shop representative check the zoom-in image. The representative dismisses his thoughts that the picture is a ghost shot. Instead, he tells the photographer that it is an instance of double exposure and out-of-focus images. Believing the representative, the photographer continues working on a typical day. As he is working in his darkroom, the girlfriend enters. Suddenly, the phone rings outside. The photographer tells the girlfriend that he will answer the phone. He proceeds to the living room and answers the phone. To his surprise, the girlfriend is the one on the other line. The girlfriend tells her that she will come by later. The photographer drops the phone and eventually checks who is the person resembling the girlfriend inside the darkroom. To his disbelief, the photographer sees that no one is in the darkroom. Meanwhile, the girlfriend is on her way to the photographer's apartment. She sees a store that sells publications that feature real ghost photos. The girlfriend checks it, and she keeps in mind the name of the publishing company. The following day, they decide to go to that publishing company that features ghost photos. While on their way, the photographer complains about his shoulders hurting more often since the accident. The girlfriend tells the photographer to have it checked sooner. They arrive at the publishing company later and discover that all of the photos in the publication are fake and manipulated through software. They eventually talk to the owner, who tells them that images can be controlled, but some capture a legitimate ghost. The owner also adds that the ghosts show themselves through photographs because they want to convey a message. The girlfriend asks the owner about what message the ghost intends to convey. The owner answers that maybe the answer lies within the photo itself. The owner also remarks that they need a Polaroid camera to capture real ghosts because it will be hard to manipulate. After a wedding photo shoot, the room's lights suddenly turn off while the photographer is fixing his camera and equipment. Flashes from the camera continuously disable the photographer from seeing clearly. The photographer tries to find the fuse, but sees a woman following him in the dark. He continues to find the fuse. Suddenly, a ghostly face of a woman appears in front of him. He eventually finds the fuse and turns the light on. To his shock, he realizes that no one is in the room with him. After some time, the photographer continues to experience severe shoulder pain. The photographer eventually visits a doctor. The nurse checks his weight before the X-ray scan. To his surprise, he even gained too much weight recently. The nurse let him step off the scale, then return to the scale, but the scale shows the same number. After his X-ray scan, the doctor informs him that he is physically fine and that the results show no injury or any unusual diagnosis. One night, the photographer dreams of the girlfriend vomiting blood and puking her teeth. The photographer wakes up in the middle of the night and gets water from the kitchen. As he goes to his living room, he sees the goofy guy from the wedding reception standing in the dark. The goofy guy is asking him to give him the photos. The photographer asks what image he is referring to. However, the goofy guy does not provide any specifics of what images he is retrieving. The photographer calls the goofy guy's wife, but the goofy guy suddenly disappears as the phone rings. The next day, the girlfriend inspects the photos with white shadows. She sees a building in the picture, and she remembers the statement of the publishing company owner that the answer may lie within the photo. She then visits the same building, which is a college university. She enters one of the rooms and tries to capture images from her Polaroid. To her surprise, she captures a dark figure at the far end corner of the room. She runs to leave the room, but stops by a falling photo frame from the wall. The girlfriend picks up the frame and sees a photo of a woman who resembles the woman they hit. Through a yearbook, the girlfriend eventually learns the ghostly woman was a sweet and innocent woman who went to the same university as the photographer. Meanwhile, the photographer visits the goofy guy, who appears at his apartment in the middle of the night. He knocks on the goofy guy's apartment, but no one answers. He enters the apartment and sees that it is messy. The photographer also finds a broken mirror. He proceeds to the balcony and sees the goofy guy jumping out of the building. The photographer runs to the goofy guy, but it is already too late. The goofy guy falls to a car parked downstairs and instantly dies. On a rainy evening, the wife of the goofy guy approaches the photographer and asks him what was bothering the goofy guy. The photographer responds that he has no idea. The wife also informs the photographer that the curly-haired guy and the cool guy from the wedding reception also died from jumping off a building. Now the photographer becomes sure that he will die next, assuming that his friends, the goofy guy, the curly-haired guy, and the cool guy, were compelled to commit suicide by the ghostly woman. The photographer begins to feel severe shoulder pain and uncanny physical manifestations. The haunting becomes extreme when the photographer learns that the ghost coerces his friends to kill themselves. Later in their car, the girlfriend shows the photographer a photo of the ghostly woman when she was still alive. The girlfriend asks the photographer how the ghostly woman is related to him. The photographer eventually confesses to being in an intimate relationship with the ghostly woman when she was alive, which he had kept hidden from his college friends. The ghostly woman adored the photographer and plotted to kill herself when the photographer ended their hormone shit. After some time, the photographer and the girlfriend visit the ghostly woman's mother in another town, where they find the ghostly woman's rotting body in her bedroom. The ghostly woman had killed herself, But her mother could not face the thoughts of the ghostly woman being cremated. The photographer and the girlfriend persuade the ghostly woman's mother to hold a decent burial for her. At this point, the girlfriend thinks that their life will settle down after the burial. However, the ghostly woman troubles the photographer while they spend the night in a hotel. The photographer gets hurt after falling over a fire escape while attempting to run away from the ghostly woman. Afterward, the girlfriend collects several photos when they return to their town. In a series of images, the girlfriend sees the ghostly woman creeping towards the bookshelf in the photographer's apartment. The girlfriend then discovers a stack of negatives behind the bookshelf. The girlfriend develops all of it. To her shock, she uncovers photos of the ghostly woman being sexually assaulted in college when she was alive by the goofy guy, the curly-haired guy, the cool guy, and even her lover, the photographer. Eventually, distraught by the revelations, the girlfriend confronts the photographer, believing that the ghostly woman intended to avenge. However, the photographer claims he was there when the hormone assault happened, but failed to stop his friends from committing it. He also confesses that he was the one who captured the photos. The photographer admits that he only did it because of coercion and the influence of drugs. He tells the girlfriend that he can never pardon himself for letting it happen, instead of doing something to prevent it. The girlfriend dismisses her and instantly leaves him. The photographer believes that the ghostly woman still haunts him. He conveys apologies to her, saying he still loves her, trying to calm her anger, but to no avail. Out of rage, the photographer continues photographing every room in his apartment, but still, he cannot see the mysterious woman. The photographer screams at the camera, happens to drop it, making it take a picture of himself, revealing the ghostly woman sitting right on his shoulders. It shows that this is the actual reason for his neck discomfort and double body weight. During the chaos, the mysterious woman covers the photographer's eyes, causing him to lose footing and tumble out the window. The movie ends with a bandaged photographer sitting on a hospital bed, hunched down, while the girlfriend pays him a visit. As the room door closes, its glass window projects a reflection of the ghostly woman still perched on the photographer's shoulders. It's clear that the ghostly woman continues to be around the photographer, the man she loved in depth, but disappointed her so much. This is Daniel's CC Movie Channel. Stay safe and enjoy your day.